Between two cherubim, wings of gold outstretched, rested the invisible throne, the Ark of the Covenant, where heaven once touched wood and gold. Within it lay the law, the manna, and the rod that budded. It was not an artifact. It was the heartbeat of God among men, but hearts forget what they hold. In Shiloh, the priests had grown proud. The sons of Eli, keepers of the ark, fed on offerings meant for God. They turned the holy into hunger, the sacrifice into self. And heaven, though patient, began to withdraw its light. For when the priesthood grows corrupt, the lamp begins to dim. The Philistines rose against Israel, and the people trembled. "Let us bring the ark into battle," they said, "and it shall save us." But they forgot the ark is not a weapon to wield. It is a presence to revere. Still, they carried it from Shiloh, cheering as if heaven could be summoned like a charm. The armies clashed at Aphek. The ark stood among men, but the presence was absent. The trumpet sounded, but heaven was silent. The field drank blood, and Israel fell. For God will not be used, not by kings, not by priests, not by any who treat his glory as gold to be carried. The unthinkable happened. The ark was captured, the throne of God taken by the hands of idolaters. Shiloh fell silent, the high priest trembled, and as the news reached Eli, his heart broke before his neck did. The glory had departed, not because it was stolen, but because it had already been forsaken. In the house of Eli's dying son, a child was born. His mother whispered a name, Ichabod, the glory has departed. Her voice was weak, but her words carried prophecy. For from that day, Israel would wander, not without land, but without presence. The Philistines placed the ark in the temple of Dagon. They thought they had conquered Israel's God, but idols cannot stand in his shadow. By morning, Dagon lay face down before the ark, and the second day, his head and hands were severed. The stone bowed before the unseen fire. Wherever the ark went, terror followed. Tumors, death, and darkness fell upon the cities of the Philistines. They cried out, "Send it away, for it burns our gods and our flesh alike." 7 months later, they placed it on a cart, drawn by cows who had never been yoked, and the beasts carried it home. Even creation longed to return the presence to its place. When the ark returned, the people rejoiced. But some dared to look inside, to gaze upon the holy without reverence, and 70 men fell that day. For holiness is not spectacle. The presence is not for curiosity, but for communion. For years the ark found no resting place. From field to house, from king to shepherd, it wandered just as Israel wandered from obedience to rebellion, until David danced before it, and Solomon built a house of cedar and gold to welcome it home. But even then the hearts of men grew cold again. The temple stood, but the glory was fading. Centuries later, Ezekiel saw it, the glory rising from between the cherubim, lifting above the threshold, then ascending beyond the city. The fire that once filled the temple now hovered at its gate, and then it was gone. The heavens closed and Jerusalem was left in silence. The ark vanished, not stolen, but escorted back to eternity. The ark was gone, the glory departed, but the covenant was not broken, only waiting. For the same presence that left the temple would one day return, not in gold, but in flesh, not behind a veil but within hearts. The word that once thundered from Sinai would soon whisper in a manger. For even silence prepares the way for a greater sound.